now towering over her in a well-fitted dinner jacket, with his attention fixed on her. He was just as intimidating. Dark brows framed darker eyes, and his mouth was held firmly beneath a slightly curved nose. Compared to the other men in the room, his complexion stood out against the crisp white of his shirt, as if he'd recently come back from a holiday spent outdoors. The only part of his appearance that was less than tidy was the curl of his hair that his pomade fought against. "Yes, I am Dr. Maxwell's research assistant," she said. Mr. Ashton took her offered hand, warming her gloved fingers with his. "Saffron Everly." He looked at her blankly.
"Your name is Saffron?"
Saffron sighed. Apparently the department gossips did not include her Christian name when they churned the rumour mill. "Yes, of course. How appropriate. A botanist named for a stigma and style of flower. Very amusing," she said. A smile threatened in the corners of Mr. Ashton's mouth.
"I'm definitely not amused at all."
Unsure of his response, she smoothed a hand over her dress once more. "Yes, well, better than Buttercup or Azalea."
"Perhaps I should change my name to reflect my area of study too. Brucella melitensis might do."
He slipped his hands into his pockets and looked down at her thoughtfully.
"Bacillus cereus sounds a little formal. Leishmania donovani, perhaps."
Though he said it without inflection, there was a hint of mirth in his voice. "Leishmania donovani would be perfect," Saffron said, allowing herself a smile. "We might call you Donovan for short, and no one would be the wiser."
"Considering that strain of leishmania is a parasite that causes anemia and, in some cases, warty eruptions, I don't think I'll choose that one."
Disgust warred with delight at Mr. Ashton's deadpan delivery, and Saffron was almost sorry to see her mentor, Dr. Maxwell, enter the room alongside his friend, Dr. Astor. Mr. Ashton leaned down to her ear as they drew near and murmured,
"Dr. Astor, another aptly named botanist."
She had said the same thing to Dr. Astor as a young girl during a rare visit to the university with her father, and she thought he still remembered her imprudent remark. Saffron stifled a laugh as the professors approached them. Though the two men were similar in age, both being along the lines of ancient, they looked the opposite of each other. Maxwell's fluff of flyaway hair and overgrown eyebrows made him look warm and grandfatherly, whereas Astor's appearance was so polished and clean as to be severe, rather more like Saffron's actual grandfather.
"Everly,"
Maxwell said warmly, taking her hand. Saffron smiled at the professor, not missing Mr. Ashton's up-ticked brow at Maxwell referring to her by her surname. She loved it when he did. It made her feel as if she was just another member of the department rather than a novelty. "How was your trip, Professor?"
"Enjoyable as always, though one always forgets how exhausting it can be, entertaining children,"
he replied in his breathless voice.
"My grandchildren seem to think that I have as much energy as they do."
Saffron turned to the other professor as Maxwell greeted Mr. Ashton. "Nice to see you, Dr. Astor." His grey eyes seemed to glint in disapproval, as usual.
"Good evening."
Maxwell scoffed lightly at him before saying,
"Astor, you remember Alexander Ashton?"
They shook hands.
"Everly, you'll be working with Mr. Ashton over the next few weeks to ensure he gets whatever materials he needs for the chlorophyll study. He is responsible for making preparations for botany since Chesterfield retired to see his ailing brother."
The sudden departure had left their small department scrambling, especially considering the expedition had been pulled together on such short notice. Nodding, she asked, "Are you on the expedition team, Mr. Ashton?"
"Not this time,"
he replied.
"Julian Erickson and Martin Gardner will be collecting the samples for botany."
The professors were absorbed in their own discussion of Dr. Maxwell's fern collection, so Saffron, eager to hear more, said, "But you've gone on other expeditions, I believe. It must be fascinating to travel all over."
"It can be."
"What exactly do you study?"
"Bacteria."
Unsure whether to be amused or annoyed at his sudden reticence, Saffron said, "I did gather that. What in particular?" She thought she caught a flash of surprise in his expression before he replied,
"I was developing a system of rapid identification."